Welcome to Lessons for the Entrepreneur. Today on set with me is Salome Ayugi, the Kenya Country Manager for Synapis. Welcome to the set.
Thank you.
So we're talking about capacity building for entrepreneurs. We talk about entrepreneurs, we're talking about people who have started this business journey. So for you at Synapis, it could be at formative stages, it could be somebody who's established or somebody who's actually, an enterprise level.
Yeah.
So when you're thinking of building their capacity, let's start at the formative level. What kind of capacity building should they then have for them to be able to have enough muscle to be able to run their businesses?
Yeah, so the first thing that we usually tell people who are at the idea stage is that they really need to ensure they have truly tested their concepts, because a lot of the mistakes that early entrepreneurs make is that they start with the end and force that to be the beginning, in that force feeding a product or service to the market without having done research and trying to really force this particular market to really consume what it is that you have to offer without really testing it first. So one of the things we do for aspiring entrepreneurs at least is to hone their skills and really help them to foster that kind of environment of not being afraid to get out into the market, have these questionnaires, interact with potential customers, research on competitors, just to make sure they more or less have a strong foundation as they kick off.
At entry level, a lot of us will start businesses because you had a friend who had an idea.
I know.
Or you had a skill and you're thinking, let me do this. And a lot of us start at side hustle level, not really going into it fully.
Yeah.
So that when you talk about research at that level, we kind of downplay it. We really don't look at it like on a serious level until it's a big business. Then you can say, okay, now I need research and I need networking.
Yeah, which is why we really encourage entrepreneurs to try and get rid of the copy-paste kind of mentality, because if you see that Sheila bakes really amazing cakes and she's making really good money, she's on holidays in Dubai, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'll bake cakes.
Yeah.
If you've never baked a cake a day in your life, they're not going to sell. So if you just go out here with this mentality of copy and paste without really being introspective about what it is that you're talented in, what are some of the skill sets that you already have, even from the current full-time job that you're doing or from your education. Because people often think that one person's journey is easily replicable to be your own. Yeah, which is something that we tell people doesn't always occur.
Okay. So now I have done my research and I've started out my business as it is. So what kind of capacity building then? How does Synapis come in to help me muscle up?
So for now, people who have gone past the idea stage, you've tested, you've honed and seen, okay, there's this kind of market. We now get you to learn what it is to keep that foundation that you have started pretty firm. So you're having money that's coming in, you're having cash flows coming in. One of the common issues that a lot of entrepreneurs, especially when they're getting into that place of being established, that they struggle with is cash flow. You've seen 200,000 come in at the beginning of the month. End of the month, you're literally at negative. So trying to teach you more or less the processes and kind of things that you can put into place just to make sure you're properly tracking your expenses, properly tracking your income, and also just being able to project where the business is going to go.
So talk about some of the trainings that you offer at Synapis and the aspect where we are networking as people in the business to... when there's strength in numbers.
Yes,
so talk a bit about that in the trainings that you offer at Synapis.
Yeah, so one key thing that we are passionate about at Synapis is really creating a community. Entrepreneurship, for anybody who's an entrepreneur, I'm sure they'll agree, is often a very lonely journey. So trying to foster community, not just with people who you are with in your cohort, but other entrepreneurs that you can learn from, because experience is the best teacher. Trying to more or less speak to people who are 3 years, 5 years, 10 years ahead of your journey or the particular area you want to get into. Because we have trained over 8,000 people through our workshops and trainings, and over 2,000 people have graduated through our programs across the world. So there's a really vibrant network of people that you can really plug into to learn more or less some of the mistakes that you should be able to avoid, and also just to see what kinds of things you should consider as you grow in your particular market.
We're talking about mistakes. Okay, now kindly highlight for us some of the common challenges that we have as Kenyan entrepreneurs there. Are there some things that are common across board that us can grapple with a lot?
I know, I see you want that entrepreneurial leakage.
Yeah.
Yes, so I gave one, which was one of the main key issues of cash flow. The other one is really not putting your customer at the center of your business, because if your customer's problem isn't necessarily being solved, nobody is really going to pay you for the particular service or product that you have. So just tying it back to that importance of market research and truly understanding your demographic. The other thing is, especially in Kenya, not prioritizing a good customer experience. You know, you experience this sometimes when you walk into a particular office and you leave feeling ruffled or disgruntled, but people really forget that word of mouth is actually one of the most powerful and free forms of advertising. So always considering that, is the customer truly leaving my office, my organization happier than they came in, because they will openly shout at no cost about your business.
About your business. So in Kenya, we're currently talking about the difficult economic situations that we are in. Everybody's trying to figure out how to stay afloat. What are some of the tips that you can give people, especially business people and entrepreneurs, try and stay afloat, you know, try and avoid the temptation to shut down.
Yeah. So one of the key things, obviously, is every entrepreneur right now, I'd really encourage them just to be able to tighten their belts. Try to look through all the expenses that you have for the year. Are there possible ways that you can be able to save? Is it possibly that you're a brick and mortar business and you don't really need that expensive physical space that you're renting? Is it possible for you to truly maximize online businesses, or trying to revamp your website just so that you're able to reduce the amount of money that you're spending on things like rent? Also trying to really boost the kind of innovation you're having as an entrepreneur. One thing you need to be as an entrepreneur is agile. I think COVID really cemented that for each and every person who's in business. So try and see what's happening in the market and see, is there a potential way I can change the kind of business offering or the kind of product that I have to attract an interestingly new kind of niche, because everybody is tightening their belt, not just entrepreneurs, but consumers themselves. But when it comes to certain offerings, if you're really, really solving somebody's pain point, despite how tight their belt is becoming, they will pay for that particular service or product. So try to find additional new and creative ways to attract that customer to still come to you.
Okay. So now, as a Synapse Kenya country manager, how do we compare Kenya and the other regions that your Synapse is venturing into? How do we compare? Are we okay? Are we lagging behind?
I'd say at least Kenya, tunaendelea sawa. We're doing a pretty good job.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're in the Uganda market and in the Rwanda market as well. I'd say even as it comes to opportunities for investment, I'd say we are ahead of our neighbors. But the dollar has hit us really, really hard. So in terms of the kind of economic landscape that we're currently experiencing, I'd say Kenya seems to be lagging behind. But there's also already been a lot of traction that has been made, the kind of support that's going to entrepreneurs in our country. Yeah.
On a personal note, what would you say is this sector that we are lately getting into and we're doing a bit better than most other sectors? Because I know there's this hype about agribusiness, of course, and then of course the government is encouraging us to create jobs, so whatever sphere we're in. So which area do you feel that we are getting traction in it and actually doing a good job in? Yeah,
I'd actually say, uniquely enough, you've actually mentioned what I was going to say, because agribusiness is really, really changing, and we are getting into the kind of space where we're becoming a more environmentally conscious world. There's a lot of things going on and discussions about climate and the like. A lot of funding as well is going to ideas and innovations that are supporting more or less still going green. And I'd say the kind of mindset that used to be there, that hiyo ni kazi ya mkono, has really, really reduced. Because a lot of people actually who are also coming in for our programs are really getting into agri, and there's a lot of potential there.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, Salome Ayugi,
the
Synapse Kenya country manager. Imagine our time is up. So
wow.
Thank you for the insights and the capacity building mechanism that you're actually honing up there at Synapse. We will be right back with the sports news.